Whether you're looking for answers to specific life questions or seeking to become the best version of you possible, welcome to the Mental Breakdown and Psychreg podcast, where we offer insight, information, and strategies based upon research and years of practice as clinical psychologists. So sit back, have a listen, and get connected with our hosts, Dr. Berney Wilkinson and Dr. Richard Marshall. Welcome back. Richard, this week we're going to have a focus on the workplace.
Thematic.
It is
thematic.
It is thematic.
And what's the theme?
We're going to talk about various issues and just complexities of the workplace.
You know what I have to say now.
I'm so glad that we're going to talk about this topic. We're going to talk about it, and it's ideal, maybe for non-traditional reasons that we're going to talk about it this week, because this week is a holiday week. We have Thanksgiving on Thursday,
perfect.
and so we're going to talk about it this week because when during this time when we're giving thanks about a lot of different things, or about different aspects of our life, one of the things that we do need to give thanks to is that we're working and that we're able to provide for ourselves and our families and everything. And we sometimes get so hung up on particular issues that we don't think about that. We don't think about the importance of our work. But while we're thinking about the importance of our work, we also got to find ways to balance. So we're going to talk about some of those issues.
This is really a very good time to do that because it's a time of year, certainly, but also this week, being Thanksgiving, is a good time to pause and think about your work life as it relates to your personal life.
Right.
Okay, so that's good. I am glad we're doing this.
See, I knew you would be.
I knew there would be a good reason.
So today we're going to focus on an article that was written. It's back in April of this year, but it was published or posted in Psychreg, our psychreg.org website, and it's called "How to Cope with Workplace Anxiety."
Right.
And so we're going to start out the week talking a little bit about anxiety because when we think about the workplace, we think about. Well, I guess there's a lot of different impressions and feelings and thoughts that come about when we think about the workplace. Some of them are positive, some of them are negative. Right. One of those negative things is anxiety.
That's right. And alarming, well, not so surprisingly, 56% of people, so over half of all of us, complain about experiencing fatigue and irritability and being unmotivated. Because of our work environment, and of course that leads to problems in our personal life. So there's one of the recurring themes this week will be the relationship between difficulties you experience in your work life as they affect your personal life.
Exactly.
So there's this relationship that we need to be mindful of. Exactly,
because we often try to keep those two things completely separated, but it's not realistic.
After reading these articles, and we read a number, we poured through some of the literature on this topic over the week, and we selected 5 that we thought were good and representative of the literature. But a recurring theme is you can't separate the two. Right. If you're having trouble at work, it's going to bleed into your personal life.
Right.
So, and most of us, at least over half of us, experience these feelings. And the interesting thing about this article is that the fellow who wrote it, he's from the UK.
Yeah. It's a woman, Kimberly Henderson.
Oh, I thought it was the guy.
Hersonson.
Yeah.
I'm not good with it.
But this is about consultants, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she talks, if we go all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, okay. She talks, much of her work was done with consultants.
Right.
And she talks specifically about the stress, and I hadn't thought about it before. More and more people are consulting,
right?
Cottage industry, and she says that the challenges of being a consultant are things like taking early flights, worrying about missing your flight, living in hotels, not eating right, not sleeping right, not exercising. So she talks about the difficulties experienced by consultants in particular. But as I read the article, I thought,
just about everybody.
We're experiencing exactly the same things. Exactly. All of the things that she talks about, the negatives that consultants experience, are things that you and I, well,
I think that most people
I think we are. I think we're all experiencing what she defines as problems at work.
Right. So she offers this list of signs that issues with work may be stressing you out. And it's a very common list of symptoms
Right.
that we see, and that's feelings of panic or fear,
Right.
problem sleeping, feeling cold and sweaty hands,
Right.
shortness of breath, heart palpitations, dry mouth, nausea, muscle tension, a lot of those kinds of things that are very commonly associated with anxiety.
Right. That's
So stress and anxiety are very closely connected, and so it makes sense that we would associate that with anxiety caused in the workplace.
That's right. And the culprits that she defines are lack of sleep.
Right.
She said that consultants don't sleep well.
Right.
And that's true. When I do talks, different places, first of all, your circadian rhythms are a little thrown off if you're traveling, for us, traveling west. So you're sleeping at different hours, you're getting up earlier, you're not sleeping as well, and there are places, she talks about this, that there are remote locations that you go to where they don't have restaurants. There are hotels.
Right.
There isn't a restaurant in the hotel,
Right.
or it closes early.
Right.
And then all you can eat is fast food. That's
Right.
all that's. And I did a talk in Texas one time, and it was in the middle of nowhere, and there just wasn't any place to eat, and you had to rely on, fast food restaurants because that's all they had in some of these locations. So you get off your diet, you get off your exercise, and you get off your sleep. So again, we see those three things.
Absolutely. But what's nice is she offers some ways to eliminate, or at least try to avoid some of these workplace stressors, and they're pretty nice little tips here.
They are. They're good tips for anybody who's working a little too hard and a little too long.
Yeah. Now, and the first one is something that perhaps we don't talk enough about. But is a great strategy for folks who are dealing with stress and frustration and burnout.
Regardless of its source.
Regardless of the source.
Right.
And that is to make a list, even write them down, physically writing them down, a list of daily gratitudes.
I saw that and it struck me. I said, well, heck, anybody should do this.
Right.
Just sit down and focus for a moment on the good things that you have.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all have things to complain about.
Yeah.
Focus, and I like the idea of writing it down.
Right. Yeah, and we've talked before about the importance of journaling.
Right.
And this is just sort of a carry on or a offshoot of the idea of journaling, and that is again just sitting down and actually writing down what are you grateful for today.
Right.
Because that brings you to focus on positive things as opposed to the negative things. One of the main issues with stress is that we are so focused on negativity that we can't find anything good about what's happening for the day, or what you're going to try to accomplish for the day. And so we're so focused on negative that that's all we see. That's all we experience is negative.
Yeah, stress pulls you to the dark side.
Yeah.
I mean, it just drags you over there. And so you have to keep bringing yourself back.
Right.
And this is a real nice way to do it.
Absolutely.
I like this.
Absolutely. The second thing is to sort of a branching from that as well, is to read affirmations every morning.
Right.
So, there are lots of apps and Twitter feeds and things like that can send to you, daily affirmations, positive messages every morning, again, to kind of get yourself off on a good step first thing as soon as you wake up.
And the next one, there are other apps that take you to number 3,
right,
which are the meditation apps. Have you ever tried any of those?
Yeah.
I have to get one. I think I need to start spending a little time meditating.
Yeah. We've talked about several different meditation apps before, and some people find some very helpful and some find others more challenging.
Depends, right.
And so you just have to shop around and find the one that best suits you.
I think might do that. I might do number 3 this afternoon.
Yeah.
My kids will be around. They can help me navigate through my phone, since
I
don't know how to do that.
So there's a couple links in the article that takes you to places where you can find some of the more popular apps for meditation. But I like the one called Pacifica. And that one seems to be very nice for me.
Okay.
But there's lots of them out there, so certainly shop around, and again, download a number of them. Many of them are free. Some of them, if you want some additional features, you have to pay for a monthly subscription or something like that. But certainly for getting started, you can do it for free if you want. One of the other things, so when we think about writing a daily gratitude list, looking at positive affirmations in the morning, even starting off the day with a meditation, what we're really kind of pushing for here with all 3 of those is starting off the day positive, starting off the day with hopeful expectations and hopeful anticipations.
Right.
One of the things that I do, for example, is as I'm getting up in the morning and I'm laying there before I get out of bed or really get the day going, I start thinking about what do I want to accomplish today.
That's
What are the most important things that I want to accomplish today? And if I can accomplish those things, today was a success.
Do that.
And anything extra from that is bonus.
Right. Do the absolutely essential things that you have to get done, whether it's a bill to pay or an appointment to make or something to do do those first.
Right.
And then everything else just makes you feel a lot better.
Right.
Okay.
And I firmly believe in the idea and importance of vocabulary. Because I don't say, what are the things that I have to do today? I think about it from the perspective of what are the things that I want to do today.
What do I want to accomplish today?
And that has, at least for me, made a tremendous difference, because now this is my motivation because it's what I want to do.
Right.
I don't feel obligated, and I don't feel like there's this external pressure for me that I have to do something. Even when they are things that I have to do, even if I don't want to do them, I try to think about it and sort of put my mental energy around it from the perspective of wanting to do it.
Just checking it off your list makes you feel better.
Exactly.
So even if you don't like the task, completing it and getting it off your list is going to give you you're going to have a better feeling.
Right. Absolutely.
So don't focus so much on, I hate the task. Focus on, let me get this finished and I'll feel better.
Right. Now, number 4 on the list is practicing acceptance, which is, again, a very important aspect that we don't often really implement.
Right. I like this one because we teach youngsters this. You can't do anything about it. Well, all of cognitive behavioral therapy is you really can't do anything about
Exactly.
this. Okay. So make a list of the things that you can't. I mean, there are some things that we just don't have control over.
Right.
Okay. So put those in a column and say, okay, these are my things that I don't have any control over.
Right. Yeah. Whether you really like your job or not, you need to get up and go today, because if you don't, in a week and a half when that paycheck comes, you're going to be upset that you didn't go. And so, those are things that maybe you have to do, whether you want to or not. But practice acceptance. This is where I am right now.
Right.
This is what I have to do right now. But, then we get to number 5, which is reaching out for help. How can I change this?
Right.
How can I move in a direction that's more consistent with what I really want to be doing?
That's right.
So that I can shift from what I have to do to what I want to do.
Right. And this is a process. You're not going to get there immediately.
Right.
You take it an item at a time. You and I have created a culture here in our office. I love what we do here.
Right.
But I don't love everything that I do here.
Right.
Paperwork is difficult, keeping up with notes. So there are some tasks that are not fun, they're not stimulating. They're just necessary.
Right.
So, but if there are some things that are really troublesome, ask for help.
Right.
And deal with those things one at a time. One of these writers made the comment that don't look for perfection.
Right.
Just practice this stuff every day.
Right.
Do a little bit, do a little piece each day.
Yeah.
And move in that. But if you have lists, if you know what you don't like and what you do like, it's going to make it much easier.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think it's good advice.
Yeah. So start your daily gratitude list. Practice those positive affirmations every morning. Start a meditation practice. That'd be great. Practice acceptance and reach out for help if you need it.
Right.
Get some guidance from somebody else because many of us have been through the same thing that you're going through.
Absolutely.
So get some help.
I'm not the kind of person who get up and say, okay, today's going to be a fabulous day. Like some people tell you to do that. I can't do that. I have to take it an item at a time.
Right.
Say, what do I need to do today?
Yeah.
What must I accomplish today?
Yeah.
And that works better for me.
Exactly. Exactly.
I guess, never mind.
Yeah. No, it's good. We've started walking in the morning a few days a week, and that makes the day get started off on an easier note, because I know that we're going to be meeting and we're going to talk and joke around early in the morning, and that's nice. Yep. It's a good way to get the day started.
Right.
So
it's makes you feel good.
That's right. So, all right, that is it for today. Couple quick things. So we have launched our Patreon page. So there is a link in the show notes to our Patreon page. Now, you will notice that the banner art's not there yet. but that's okay. It's on its way. It'll be there soon. But we didn't want to keep putting it on hold,
keep delaying it.
And delaying. So we thought we'd go ahead and put it out there. So if you in the show notes, you can click on the link to our Patreon page, and that'll take you right there to it. So you can learn more about what we're doing, what we hope to do, and any ways that if there's any way that you can help support some of the work that we're doing, that would be very groovy.
Right.
So that page is up. It's patreon.com/thementalbreakdown. So that'll be very cool. Okay. Our artwork is on its way. New music is on its way. So that will be here hopefully within the next few weeks or so. We'll get that out there, and there will be some new images and everything on our feeds, so that you can enjoy that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have had some nice reviews. I didn't even tell you this. Somebody wrote a review on iTunes, and it was a very nice review saying that they enjoy the topics that we discuss and everything. Gave us a nice 5-star review, which is.
I wonder if that was one of my students. I reminded them the other night.
Did you?
Said, they were talking about we were discussing the podcast because of a topic came up, and we had done a podcast on one of the topics that we were discussing, and I said, you guys need to get on there, and so hopefully it was one of them.
It may be, but you know what? I'm not even going to try, because it's always just the user ID that it shows. It doesn't tell us who wrote it. It's just a user ID. And as bad as I am with names anyways, there's no way I'm going to try to pronounce what, if it's supposed to be a name or if it's just sort of a whatever. I'm not sure. So, but thank you.
But the reminder, yes, let us know. Let us hear from you.
Yes. Okay. It would be great if you wrote a review or comment on iTunes, which is great, or YouTube. Share our feeds with others to get them involved as well. We've been getting some great comments on the YouTube channel for some of the different YouTube videos that we've posted, and keep that coming. I try to respond to everybody and answer questions and do whatever I can do to engage viewers on YouTube. Viewers on YouTube. With any questions that you have. Love the comments. It's fantastic, and it really takes some of the things that we're talking about here on the podcast, and it allows us to expand it a little bit more for your particular questions or needs or interests. So keep that up, and would love it if more of you did that. That would be great. So,
let us hear from you.
All right. That is it for today. So until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and forget to be afraid.